Luke Spiller of the Struts is releasing solo stuff, which is pretty cool as somebody who has very recently become quite a huge Struts fan. I went from knowing nothing, going in blind to download. My girlfriend and I were there, and she'd heard of them. She'd heard of Kiss This. She was aware of them partially, I think, because Maneskin, the Italian band, got their notoriety in Italy by covering Kiss This. So, we thought we'd stick around. We had nothing better to do, so to speak. And we were totally blown away. They were fantastic as a live experience. Luke Spiller is very charismatic. His voice is amazing live. Even if you don't know the songs, we just had a good time. And then slowly, ever since then, the Struts have been dripping into my life. It started as a drip, and then it became a little flow, and now the waterfall has come crashing down, and I am fully obsessed. I really picked up on Can't Stop Talking, which is still an interesting one, from a release perspective, just because it came out the year after Pretty Vicious, the album, and the music video only features Luke Spiller and I forget the name of him, but the guitarist. Which got us thinking, is there something wrong with the Struts? Probably not. I've not seen anything. I did do some active research and I have found nothing to indicate that. But, it's interesting that now Luke Spiller has gone out solo. But then I also found out, it's another thing that I think started to draw me to them, is that I know 2 Mike Oldfield songs. Everyone knows Tubular Bells, and then when I was at university, my friend was like, oh, have you heard this song by Mike Oldfield? It's called Nuclear, and I got obsessed with it. I didn't look any further. I didn't listen to any other songs from that album, etc., etc. And then I find out that, like, 10 years later, that Luke Spiller is actually the singer for that song. I always just assumed it was Mike Oldfield, and I never paid any more attention to it, but it's not, which is kind of interesting, because that vocal performance was amazing, and definably him, if you know what you're listening for, but he is definitely singing with a completely different style to the Struts. The Struts is kind of dripping in this swagger and this bravado, and it's all a bit cheeky, chappy, you know what I mean? Singing about sex and drugs and alcohol and all of that. He's got this very kind of teasing persona, but in Nuclear, well, when he's playing with Mike Oldfield, pure, amazing, impassioned. So, when my girlfriend pointed out that Luke Spiller has released a solo song, Love Will Probably Kill Me Before Cigarettes and Wine, which is a great name, I am now very interested to see what this is like. Whether this is leading to a full solo album, don't know, we'll have to find out. I hope that this is not another indication that the Struts are in a downward swing, but maybe they're just in between tours, which is very reasonable for some people to want some time off, and maybe Luke Spiller is just one of those overworking types who just gets restless when he's not doing anything. So yeah, very interested. This video's only got like 7,500 views in the last 3 days, but I guess the Struts are more famous than he is, if that makes sense. So yeah, let's see whether or not that number is justified or not, and jump in and listen to Love Will Probably Kill Me Before Cigarettes and Wine. That looks like the same font as Grand Theft Auto.
Love will probably kill me before cigarettes and wine.
Straight out of the gate, I think that might be the deepest I've ever heard him sing. Also, got that classic Struts swagger to him again, just in terms of the visual stuff. He's not changed his wardrobe. He didn't pull a Damiano David and just suddenly completely change when he turned into a solo act, which I like.
You'll find a way to end me before God could find a time. And take what I have and break it like that, or either go insane and go in vain. 'Cause love will probably
There's the register.
kill me before cigarettes and wine. But I don't mind.
We're gonna get dropped. There it is. See, so far, I'm not gonna lie, this could probably be a Strut song, with the exception of the like very low stuff at the beginning. But I really like that kind of quite falling, impassioned and melodic thing that's kind of soft, and then you get that kick, and just when you want it, you actually get the rest of the band kind of falling in there. You just got like, a nice acoustic intro, then bam, whole band, which I love. And again, that voice, that voice. Ooh, and strings.
Hold me like Hollywood held you. Drop me, I'm lying here anyway. Treat me like others you've lied to.
Yeah, it's definitely got slightly more of a ballad feeling than a lot of the Strut stuff does. But if you listen towards the latter end of Pretty Vicious, there definitely is quite a lot there. Also, music videos, surprisingly high budget for the spin-off solo act with only 7,500 views. Like, it's very nicely shot. I like the visual stuff. He's got on-screen charisma, which helps, but there are plenty of people with on-screen charisma who have way less. I don't know. The cinematography is nice. The black and white's a nice touch.
But nothing was quite like you. I started to get the feeling that love will probably kill me before cigarettes and wine.
I really like the way that those backing vocals come in there and fall down, and they kind of mirror the orchestral stuff that's raising down as well. So it's a nice raising down. Good try. Descending. There you go. God. But it's a very nice have that like soaring vocal going over the top whilst everything else, even the chord sequence, is just slowly doing that. Na, 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 na. I really like that. Also, the dancers there sort of going from this kind of weird, tired, sad thing, but then sort of doing this almost like Puppet Master-esque marionette dance. I really like that as a visual idea as well.
Cigarettes and wine, but I don't mind.
Oh, that little bass slide going in there was absolutely amazing. Also, just again, the way he uses his voice there, he's able to hit those similar registers, but then that one note that hide, he really hits that with some gusto. It makes it have a high feeling of payoff. That falsetto is lovely. I do enjoy that he very almost actually joined in with the choreography for a second then, and then they all start doing some clever, because they're all clearly dancers, and he just kind of does this. He loves sticking out, making that cum face and just kind of like really vibrating with his shoulders. I know, it's a funny visual. I like it quite a lot, actually. It works very well, but it's funny. For a second, I thought he was going to bust out into a full dance routine. Interesting, very minor nitpick. Why is he lip syncing there when he's not singing? This feels like this is B-roll footage of a different part of the dance, and they decided to use that there. Not a big deal, but I don't know. Attention to detail like that occasionally really bugs me.
I've taken all the pills that I could find this evening. But nothing's quite like you. I start to get the feeling.
Oh! Key change! Oh, that's the way to my fucking heart. I love this song. I've actually got goosebumps. What the fuck? Awesome. This is such the song for that as well. It's got this kind of build-up moment that keeps on going, sort of ebbs and flows. The flow of the song goes slow and light and soft and plaintive. Then he busts out the big guns and sings out there. It was screaming for a key change. I'm so glad he indulged us. Those backing vocals are really, really effective as well. I really love how, again, they do that thing that I say a lot I like, where the vocals start, they unite on that same note, and then they don't fully mirror the original vocal line. It's not the same rhythm, often not the same melody. I just like how they sort of start together and differentiate over time. The harmonies will often fall out into the pan whilst he's blazing through with that laser sound. Ooh, very clever little fill there as well.
Love will probably kill me before cigarettes and wine. But I don't mind.
Nice, soft little payout at the end. And then the orchestral swell to end it. That was great. What a journey that was. I mean, to be fair, stylistically, I feel like that really could have been a Struts song, which is completely fine because I really like the Struts. Yeah, but just like quite orchestral. I mean, I've seen them do some sort of live versions of stuff where the sort of more acoustic-y things, the pianists and stuff like that are there present live, but I don't think they've ever gone quite as far as having that full orchestral bit. And also, I think most of the backing vocals in the Struts, at least, they're slightly less present. They're there, they absolutely are there. Both of those, the guitarist and the bassist can sing, obviously, but I feel like they were less part of the core structure, but those choruses really were elated by having those falling backing vocals complement him, and they're kind of soft, which means that as his voice gets harder and he hits those harder, edgier notes towards the choruses, you still get that soft harmony palette back there because the backing vocals are doing it instead, which is great. I'd love to know the writing credits on that, to be honest. I'm assuming he probably did the majority of the songwriting. Jesus Christ, he's got 285 videos up on YouTube. Fair enough. But I'm curious who is like playing the guitar during this one, because I've never actually seen him hold an instrument. I'm sure he can play, at least to the point of being able to write with it, but I don't. Yeah, I'd be very. If anyone in the comments knows who is actually playing some of the instruments, I'd love to know that. But yeah, no, that was fantastic. The key change was amazing. I really love the soulful nature of it. It does still have that like kind of Struts, tongue-in-cheek lyrical content where it's quite heartfelt. Well, which is not always the case with the Struts, to be fair. But when they do heartfelt, they do it well. He kind of does feel like he's singing from the soul a little bit. But it's still got that kind of tongue-in-cheek references to all the drugs he's doing, and the sort of, and the video is interesting enough as well, where he's just kind of like got this troupe of dancers, these women who are sort of fawning over him. It's not like overtly sexualized, which I also quite like. He's got this kind of classic rock and roll gentleman vibe going on to him, which again is actually quite refreshing. Like nice suit and a cravat, and so on and so forth. But he's still good. It ends with these women all sort of like gripping onto him, but it almost feels more in like a kind of a genuine loving way rather than like a sexualized way, which I like. It's rare for people to have swagger but not literally, yeah. I won't go down whatever I was going to say there, but my point being, I like the balance that they hit there, or he hits there, which I guess would be the case for them too, because I'm assuming does all the lyric writing at least. But yeah, it's kind of soulful but cheeky. The backing was very nice. The guitar solo was, yeah, it was there. It definitely served its purpose. I like the chord progression. There's a couple of really nice little fills in there too, like just like little flourishing details in the production, like the little bass slide before one of those choruses came in, or the da 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 falling orchestral line between the double chorus towards the end, I think. All of that stuff. It's just really, really lovely songwriting. So yeah, no, absolutely. Props to you, Luke Spiller. This video deserves to do significantly better. I hope that anyone who is watching this will go and watch the legitimate one and support them, because, yeah, I don't know. Maybe, Luke, if you ever get to see this video, reaching out, I'm a big fan. I would love to interview you in some capacity. I know it's a long shot, but if you don't ask, you don't get, right? But anyway, I think that's probably all I've got time to say. Thank you very much for watching. Like, share, subscribe, all of that crazy stuff, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.